touchdown to Mario, my former roommate, so it was a good end to a good drive.
So Beau knows touchdowns. We know that. What was it like to get in with the ones and get some time with them today?
It's always good to get experience and play in the game. Obviously, it's a lot of fun, and to get reps. And I got a good amount of reps today, and it's good for experience and to put successful drives together. That's my main goal, and today we did that.
James said offensive or defensive coordinators now are going to have to start worrying about what you bring to the table after watching you the first two games. Does that make you feel good about what you've been able to accomplish in these first two games? You've shown some stuff.
Yeah, my job is to move the offense down the field, and whether that's running or throwing or creating a different threat with my legs, I think that's my main job in the end. And if I can do that and create a different threat, I think that's good for our offense.
Beau, I don't know how close you and Dom are. Obviously, you're on different sides of the ball, but you're both PA guys. He had a big moment in the second half. What was your observation on that, and what would you say about just him getting to have that moment as, like you, a Penn State fan, growing up watching games, and what does he mean to the program in general, do you think?
Yeah, Dom's one of my best friends on the team. We're next-door neighbors. We hang out all the time, and he deserves that score, and the whole team knows he deserves that score. He's one of our hardest workers. Everybody loves Dom, respects him, and I'm so happy for Dom.
How would you describe Dom for people that don't know him?
Dom is just a straight-up leader, natural-born leader, natural-born hard worker. I think Dom is like a blue-collar, Pennsylvania hard-nosed linebacker. I love everything about him.
Well, James indicated that he could see instances where you get rotated in a little bit earlier in the game even. How cool would that be for you to do, and how dangerous you think this offense could be if people had to prepare, kind of what Pat was asking you for both Drew and you?
Like I said, anything I can do to help this offense and create a different threat, I think I'm completely willing to do that and get in the games and do what I have to do to help move the offense and create a different element.
Well, you said threat twice now. I'm wondering, with your skill set as a holder, how did that come about? Because obviously we've seen in the past that James isn't afraid to pull out some trickeration on special teams. So I'm just wondering, did you volunteer for that? Did they come to you with that? And how do you like that position so far?
I held for kicks in high school, so I already knew how to do that, and I held kicks all fall camp. So I didn't even need to warm up or anything. It was a natural thing for me. I did it in high school, like I said, and just go in there and hopefully extra point. And I did, and it just creates a different element in the game as well.
What does it say about this offense that you guys are able to have?
I think our offense, if we have different units, whether it's our different personnels with two backs, two tight ends, I think that's just another thing that defenses have to prepare for each week, and it makes it much harder for them to prepare.
Well, you played in front of an offensive line at one point that had three true freshmen, including on the left side. How much trust do you have in those guys?
Zero stress. I have 100% trust in those guys. They work their tails off. We work all week long on protections and everything, and everybody's really dialed, and I don't care, who's in the game at offensive line. I feel really confident in them.
Beau, as a young quarterback, how much trust and confidence do you have in having Katron and Nick behind you?
A lot of confidence. They're really dialed in on the protections, a lot of communication on the run game and everything, and they have a lot of game experience, and with me in the game, they help me out. Just having them and all their experience beside me and their talent, makes me feel comfortable.
Beau, how important is a game like this where it's not just, hey, the 2s and 3s get one drive, but you get almost a whole half for guys to really feel what it's like? How much do you think that's going to benefit you guys late in the season?
I think it's really helpful, just not just getting one drive, but coming off and talking about it, and then defense gets stopped on the field. It's just kind of getting into that game flow. I think that's really important, and it helps the 2s and 3s get ready for real game action.
James talked about the running backs earlier in their last year. They were taking cues from the offensive line, taking cues from Sean. And now Katron and Nick are the ones helping Drew, helping you, giving their voice to the O-line. What's that like when you're back there, quarterback next to them?
It makes my job a lot easier when they can, they're really dialed in on protections. They're really dialed in on the IDs and the run game and the routes and everything like that. It makes my job easier because as a quarterback you have a lot going on, and when they can kind of direct traffic too and be dialed in that aspect, it's really helpful. And they're two really smart backs, really good obviously. And I think they're only getting better each game.
When you score a touchdown in front of 100,000 people, what's the very first thing that goes through your mind?
Just excitement. I mean, any successful drive with 6 points is my main goal, and no matter how you do that, just glad, we're able to end the drive in a touchdown.
You threw your touchdown to Amari Evans today. He's been kind of off and on as far as availability. But what does he bring to the team, and what does that look like when he's fully healthy?
I think Amari, is a great, speed threat. He's very fast. He's always shown that. You guys have seen it before, and I'm glad he was able to give him his first touchdown of the season today.
Caden said he's a run the damn ball type of offensive lineman. Do you have a lot of those kind of guys? And obviously you get in there and you grind it up a little bit and keep the first downs going and the change. You see it in their eyes when you guys call runs or they're running the ball and moving the line.
Yeah, I love our offensive line. They're a tough bunch, and you want your offensive line to want to pound it down the team's throat. And anytime you can do that, it just helps everything. It helps open up the pass game, play action. But this offensive line, not just the 5 starters, but the whole crew has done a phenomenal job, and they're a tough crew, and I really like it.
One of the things about Drew is he's obviously been really, really accurate. 22 of 22-6 today. Hasn't really taken a lot of chances down the field. I wouldn't say it's necessarily careful, but maybe measured. Is that something that, practice-wise, we even mentioned to Keaton, our defense trying to bait him to throw it deep. Is that something that you see out of Drew, that he's just real careful about where he sends it?
Well, I think, anytime you can, most of the time the check downs are to our running backs. And anytime you can get our running backs in the open field with space, you can end up having an explosive play. So I think really just controlling the game and taking care of the football and taking the shots when they're there and checking it down when they're not there, I think that's really important, securing the ball, and it helps us win games.
Well, what are your initial thoughts on Illinois for next Saturday?
All of our thoughts have been on Delaware this past week, but we'll dial in on Illinois as soon as I get back to the facility.
Drew kind of touched on how hard you and all the rest of the quarterbacks work. What does it mean to you to play, significant playing time and kind of utilize that practice?
Yeah, there's a lot that goes into it. We work really hard on preparation and everything, and I'm always ready, but anytime I get to get in the game and, get on the field, it's a blessing, and, I'm always prepared for that moment.
What would Big Brother say about this performance?
Hopefully he's proud of me, against his alma mater. He's a graduate of Delaware, so hopefully he's proud, that we beat his alma mater.
How would you say he influenced you as a football player?
My brother?
Yeah.
I mean, me, my brother, and my dad, have always, been in football. It's 24/7. So huge influence, obviously, and him being a quarterback, he's really helped me. My dad as well, and we always bounce ideas off each other about playing the game and position of quarterback.
Is there anything in particular that you think you got from either your brother or your dad that you've kind of taken with you into the D1 level?
Well, my dad played wide receiver in college, so maybe the running aspect from my dad, and then my brother really just, the X's and O's. He's a really smart dude, and he's a really accurate passer. He's more of a pocket guy, so I guess I'll credit the running to my dad and the passing to my brother.
As an offense, what do you feel like you guys have left to show? Is there an area that when you go to watch film that you're going to say, all right, this is what we need to hone in on after 2 weeks?
We'll look at the film from today later. There's always stuff we have to work on, but right now I wouldn't say anything specific. I think just as a whole, run game, pass game, everything, I think there's a lot of room for improvement.
With last season not playing, now you've got 2 games worth and today's significant action. Just how do you feel like you've changed to today after playing like that, after spending a whole season basically just practicing?
I think, I've been here for a while, I've had, multiple camps under my belt, but playing in a game is just different, just is, and I think anytime you can get extended action, it just helps you in that aspect.
What do you remember about your road trips last year that you're going to, go back in the notebook and look to see how you prep for this week coming up?
Yeah, I love road games. I'm excited to get on the road at Illinois. They're a good program, and it's just different when you go on the road and you're traveling. It's a business trip, so we're going to treat it like that.
What does it feel like to score over 60 points in a game?
It's good, and I mean, there's nothing to complain about there when you can, put points on the board and put drives together and, take care of the football. That's the most important thing.
Thanks, Beau.
Thanks, Beau.
Thank you, guys.